You're a podcast listener, and this is a podcast ad. Reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Lips and Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a reproduced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience with Lips and Ads. Go to lipsandads.com now. That's LIBSYN ads.com.
Hello and welcome back to Chasing Excellence, a show about chasing what truly matters. My name is Patrick Cummings. As always, I'm here with Ben Bergeron. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Patrick. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody out there, for joining us. Just a very quick reminder, I'll probably only do this once or twice more. New format. We will be showing up twice a week. Tuesdays and Fridays we'll be here with shorter, slightly more focused episodes for those folks who have been listening for a long time. Well, first, thank you. Second, we're going to do our best to sort of bring some of that old vibe, some of those old formats, some of those old conversation styles back into this format, marrying it a bit with the show that we have been doing for the last few years. This week, we've got questions. We've got listener questions, both of them in the move category. For folks who are new here, we have listener questions all the time where we take questions about the 5 factors of health, those few fundamental behaviors that most positively affect our performance, vitality, and longevity. Those 5 factors: how we eat, how we move, how we think, connect, and recover. We've got 3 questions this time around, all in the move category. We're going to dive right into them. The first one is from Emil. He says, I'm a 38-year-old who's planning to travel from Sweden to Italy and will be there on vacation with my family for 4 weeks. It'll be an awesome time, but I want to get in 30 to 45 minutes of fitness every day between the pasta and the wine. Do you have any
meal? Good.
Do you have any go-to training when on the road, running and body weight specifically, as I will not be going to a gym? So this would be a good excuse to kind of give a 4-week programming, not day by day, but some practical principles for him to follow.
Yeah. Yep. If you're not going to be going to a gym, it's going to be it's obviously fairly limited. And you just nailed it. It's going to be running and body weight. The key movement patterns that you can lean into, obviously there's running for the cardio aspect. And then in terms of the body weight movements, you have essentially upper body pushing, upper body pulling, you have hinge patterns, and you have squat patterns. So just give some examples of what those would be. Upper body pushing would be something like push-ups. Upper body pulling would be something like pull-ups. A squat pattern would be like air squats, and a pull pattern would be something like deadlifts. But if we don't have weights, we don't have a gym, it'd be something like body weight good mornings. So here's the kind of the secret sauce to the way that you can do this if you're going to be training for 30, 45 minutes each day is you can either choose one of 2 paths. And it's really, you have to pick which one you're going to do. You can kind of smush them together a little bit, and I'll talk about that at the end. The one is you lean in hard and heavy into a certain movement pattern, but then you don't touch it for another 2 days. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do a whole bunch of push-ups, let's say you want to do 200 push-ups on Monday. Cool. Like maybe we do something like 10 rounds of a 200-meter run and 10 push-ups. All right. That's probably going to take you not the full time. I should say there's another movement pattern, which could be like a sit-up or a midline movement. So that can be added in there as well. So we can either lean really heavy into one. Today we're going to do 200 push-ups. But then we got to know that we shouldn't be overtaxing that in the following 48 to maybe 72 hours. You can revisit it later in the week, depending on how much you tax it. But as long as you're not like sore, particularly sore to the touch, you can rework that muscle. The other way you do it is you just turn every day into a total body day. One is not better than the other. And you could do something like, let's go for a 200-meter run, and then let's do 20 air squats, 15 push-ups, 10 pull-ups if you can find something to pull up on, or you get the idea. Maybe we add sit-ups. So it's 10 push-ups, 20 squats, 30 sit-ups, 400-meter run, and we do that for an AMRAP, as many rounds as possible in 35 minutes. Awesome, great, big, total cool, awesome total body workout. The next day you just do something similar, as long as you're not overtaxing it, and you change up the format. Next day is going to be, I'm going to do 1 push-up, 2 squats, and 3 sit-ups. And I'm going to go run for 5 minutes. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do it again, but now I'm going to double everything, keeping the 5 minutes. I'm going to do it again and double everything. Do it again and double everything. I do that for 50 minutes, whatever it might be. So those are the 2 approaches. Now, having said that, what you could actually do as well is do one day that's upper body focused, one day that's lower body focused, one day that's core focused. And then the remaining part of the week you could do as total body, total body, total body. So there is no best way. There is principles, which is either get little touches on a lot and do it, meaning many days, or you go heavy into a certain movement pattern. And, I'm going to build up to, over this month, I'm going to build up to the point where I can do, 500 air squats in a workout. Cool, dope, that's awesome. From there, you can explore different movements that I didn't list. Obviously, there's lunges and jumping lunges and box jumps and planks and, Russian twists for your midline. And there's a bunch of things that you could do but they're all kind of that same default pattern. It's going to be an upper body push, a lower body push, a midline movement, a hip hinge, or a squat. Pick 1 or 2. Don't do those 1 or 2 for the next couple days if you're going heavy, or just keep it low level of all of them and do them all of the time. There's not a right or wrong.
Couple little practical questions that I can imagine Emil asking. One, he says he's got, I think he said 30 to 45 minutes, wants to do it every day. Let's assume that's just most days. Does he take up the 45 minutes every single time to figure out, okay, I'm going to do something that's going to, obviously do a warm up, and then he's going to work out for 40 minutes every day? Does he fill up that time, or somewhere in there, let's do something that's 10 minutes long, 12 minutes long. Let's do something that jacks the intensity up a little bit. And then the next day do something that's maybe a little bit slower, but goes a little bit longer.
For a month, do whatever you want to do.
Got it.
Like for a lifetime, yes, totally 100%. If I have somebody for a year, we're not going to do 40-minute workouts every day.
Right.
But for being on vacation, I know how this goes. I don't want to spend a lot of time warming up.
Yep.
And I want to do more volume than I might want to otherwise do, because I also don't have weights. So I want to get more on the volume side.
Yep.
So you going and working out for 40 minutes every day, just the intensity. You're not going to be doing jumping split lunges for 45 minutes, right?
Oh, good luck.
That's obvious. So as you up the intensity of certain movements, you're not going to do 45 minutes of pull-ups.
Yep.
As you kind of figure out what are these more intense movements, those are 2 really good ones, right? If you want an intense workout, go pull up and jumping lunges or jumping squats. You'll get, jacked up real fast in a good way. So it doesn't need to be the variance for variance sake, just because we need intensity intermixed into this 4-week period.
Second practical question is, and this is obviously going to vary by the person, but would you recommend he have a plan laid out in advance, or he just shows up and says, cool, this is my 30 minutes I've got. What do I feel like doing? Again, with the context, he's doing this for 4 weeks. He'll get back to normal relatively soon. He's on vacation. Do you overthink it, or you're just how do you feel today? Go do something, go move around for 30, 40 minutes.
Okay, so I think this speaks more to personality traits than it does efficacy of training. So there's no way I'm going to plan this out ahead of time. I'm going to wake up in the morning and go, what do I feel like doing?
Cool. I do the
every
same.
single time. Yeah. But there are other people for sure that need to figure out they're going to lay it all out to make sure that they're getting all the body part splits in equal fashion, and they're going to do this. And when I'm here, I definitely want to run on the beach because this is this. And so because of that, I'm not going to run the day before, and I'm going to do that's a personality thing. It's not creating a more potent program.
Take it. All right, cool. Thank you, Emil, for that question. Next one is from Beth. She says, having previously trained in CrossFit for 7 years and being competitive for 4 of those, I ended up burning out 2 to 3 years ago and had to stop training altogether. Since then, I put a lot of work into recovering physically and mentally and very gradually building back up to physical activity and training. Last year, I was managing to train CrossFit 3 to 4 times a week, as well as swim 2 times a week alongside physical hobbies like hiking, biking, and gardening. However, since I began a physically demanding job at the end of of last year as a full-time gardener and landscaper, I've been struggling to train alongside it. I want to return to training as I really miss it and it helps me physically and mentally. However, I'm struggling to know how to build it back with my job without being completely exhausted. How do you advise, or how would you advise returning to training whilst working a physically demanding job without being at risk of burning out all over again?
Beth is a go-getter. Wow. Okay. So former competitive CrossFit athlete, got burnt out. Then I love this. And her way of getting back into it is 3 to 4 days a week, plus swimming, biking, hiking, and doing
and gardening, and then getting a job
and doing landscaping. So this is probably I'm gonna give a really quick answer, and you can do follow-ups if you want to, but just do CrossFit. Do that 5 or 6 days a week. If the goal is holistic health, you're going to get that. With all of the moving you're doing, you don't also need to be doing hiking and swimming. You don't 100% do not need that from a physical adaptation standpoint.
From a kicking ass into your 90s type.
Because you're already doing it. You're getting the long duration, low intensity thing. You're already getting that. So yeah, essentially what you're doing is you're doing the high intensity thing and you're doubling up on the endurance. Like, that's really what's happening. That's a demanding job. It really is. After I coach my classes and do my workout, I sit at a desk for 6 hours. I do nothing. Nothing. I'm the one that needs to also go for the 90-minute walk at night. That's for me. That's not for you. I also need to go for a long run on the weekends. I also should get in the pool, not you. So what is the sustainable version? It is 5 or 6 days a week of CrossFit and keep your job. Now, I know what I said it was going to be a short answer, but
yes,
I know what the
you know the follow-up question anyway, so you must
like it. You like doing this stuff. You like it.
Yep.
So if you like it that much, then yeah, you're going to have to figure out you have to weigh and measure. And you have to go, what is the thing? And I don't have that answer. And no one's going to have that answer for you, because no one's going to be able to go, well, your job is this demanding, you're on your feet this much, and you're doing this many steps. That means you got to take away from this thing, and this thing to be able to do that thing, and that thing. So it is going to literally be just a game of you trying to put all of the puzzle pieces on the table and get them to match together without, I got 3 extra pieces here. I thought I was done. Like, where can I smush these guys in? There's no smushing in. You're not going to be able to do everything you're doing. So something's got to give. If my suggestion would be, don't let it be the CrossFit thing. Because for the kicking ass in your 90s, holistic health, functional, that's the most beneficial thing you're doing. So that's where I started with that. But if you're like, nope, I'm not giving up the day or two in the pool and I'm not giving up my long hikes, okay, then it's really obvious. Like, you got to give up some of the CrossFit stuff.
I think my only question is, thinking about Beth and others who might be in that position, what advice would you give to say, okay, look out for this? Because she mentioned it a couple of times, right? She burned out the first time and she's worried about burning out again. Like, what are the signs of, oh gosh, I'm headed back towards that, in a way that you can actually stop it? So it's not, oh no, I'm burned out, I need to stop this, or I can't do this anymore, or this is really affecting my job negatively, but more, oh gosh, that's a sign, that's a signal, I need to do something different. Is it just like a willingness to train? Is it like,
so for someone like Beth, it's different for everybody, is the answer. For someone like Beth, it's when she's no longer excited to do those things.
Yeah.
When it becomes a chore. When she's not excited to go on those hikes, when she's not excited to go to the gym, when she's lethargic at work. And that's the reason she's asking the questions, because she's already sees it coming.
Yep.
For somebody that is used to being on the couch, that's not the answer, because they're not going to like those things at all. So that's why it's a little bit different for those people. You can't go, hey, when you aren't excited to go to the gym, you're going to the gym too much. They're like, cool. Like, I went once, I didn't like it. I'm not excited to go back tomorrow, so peace out. I'm overtrained. So the answer is it's really a question of overtraining, and the signs of overtraining are multifaceted. It's everything from increased appetite to lower appetite. It's being more tired. It's being restless and not being able to sleep. It's these weird things, like it goes both ways. Moody is probably the most common one, honestly, that shows up the most. But the biggest one for me that I've been able to telltale for my athletes the quickest is their eagerness to train that day.
Yep.
And so that's why I always ask them, when they came in is, I asked them like 3 or 4 questions, and one of the ones, and the one I always leaned into the most, it was like, how sore are you? How much sleep did you get? Where's your stress levels? But then it's like, how excited are you to train today? Mm-hmm. If they're like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Like, I'm ready to kind of get after it. For a games athlete, that's warning signs, big like sirens going off. Because they're usually like, let's freaking go. Like, so that's where it's a little bit different for everybody.
Yep. Okay, we've got one more training question. We're going to get to it momentarily, but first, a quick word of thanks from a few sponsors. We're brought to you this week by Shopify. Years ago, I thought it was a wonderful idea to create greeting cards for CrossFitters, so I spent a bunch of time making designs, getting everything right, and getting it all online with the help of Shopify. Then, almost immediately after I did that, I had a baby, and I can't remember what happened after that. That's not true. I remember how awesome and easy Shopify was to use. Everything else is a blur.
Wait, did you actually make is that a true story? You made greeting cards for CrossFitters?
100% true.
We have to find those.
I have all of them. The poster I sent you the other day was from that. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
All right. I gotta see them.
I'll send them to you. If you're looking to sell greeting cards or your recipe ebook or handmade canine cardigans, make sure you go to shopify.com/excellence to get yourself a $1 per month trial so you can see what Shopify can do for you. Shopify is like the ultimate workout buddy for your business. It's always there to support you. From launching your online shop to hitting 1 million orders, Shopify's got your back. Plus, Shopify Magic, their AI-powered all-star, can help you whip up captivating content that converts from blog posts to product descriptions, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person point-of-sale system. Wherever and whatever you are selling, Shopify's got you covered. To learn more and start that $1 per month trial, go to shopify.com/excellence. We are also brought to you this week by Momentous. Are you still struggling with poor sleep, and is it affecting your overall health and quality of life? Well, you are not alone. Alongside building better nighttime routines and setting up your bedroom to be as conducive to deep sleep as possible, Momentous is here to help you make sure you're getting as much high-quality Z's as possible. Go to livemomentous.com. Use the code EXCELLENCE to get 20% off their sleep pack. What is it? It's a powerful blend of magnesium, L-threonate, apigenin, and L-theanine that's designed to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up fully recharged. Each ingredient in Momentous Sleep plays a crucial role. Magnesium L-threonate delivers calm to your brain, apigenin helps you enter a more restful state, and L-theanine stimulates relaxation. Best of all, Momentous Sleep is free of banned substances, toxic elements, and fillers, so you can rest easy knowing what you see on the label is exactly what you get. It's time to get serious about your sleep. Visit livemomentous.com now and use the code EXCELLENCE for a 20% off discount on sleep and all their top-of-line products. Remember, good sleep is fundamental to our health span and lifespan. Do not compromise on it. Take control of your sleep with Momentous Sleep. Livemomentous.com. Use the code EXCELLENCE.
Yeah, we talked about in the last episode about our health stack.
Yes, we did.
I've experimented with Sleep Stack, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm just terrible at taking nighttime supplements. It's not. I'm just like, I try it, and I just keep forgetting to do it. But if I was good at it, I would. Heather does it, which is weird that she does it and I don't. But she actually uses theirs. It's really
awesome.
good. I also use their creatine.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, really good. Yep.
Cool. And that was 2 episodes ago. But not that anybody's keeping count. Okay, my friend. One more question we've got this week. It's from Claire. Here it is. I've been doing CrossFit for about 10 years to varying degrees. Right now, I train every day for about 2.5 hours, and I also run every weekday. I'm training for a 50K, so I do an extra long run on Saturday and rest on Sunday. I realize that this is a lot of volume, but I've slowly conditioned myself up to this point. I love what I do, and I love how I feel. The coaches at my box don't seem to understand my pursuits, though. They have talked to me about reducing volume several times, and just recently they've basically forced me to only come to class and then leave. I understand they think it'll be better for me, but I think they just don't know how to handle an endurance athlete. I want to continue training at this box, but I don't feel mentally or physically satisfied with a single CrossFit class, and I don't feel respected by the limitations they've put on me. Please help.
Okay, that's a cool predicament. I like it.
Have you had anybody in the gym like this before? I imagine you must have. At least with this kind of goal.
Yes.
At least with this kind of like
we've
goal
had
set.
people. Yeah, we've had coaches that have run 50K and 100Ks.
Right on.
So here's the really interesting part about this is Claire's motives are awesome and amazing, and she's right. Her coach's motives, perspective, and approach and concerns are right. So this is where people are going to butt heads. Zooming out a little bit, she wants to run a 50K. She does 2.5 hours of training plus, holy smokes, plus runs every day. Then does a long run. Cool. That's what it takes to be competitive in those events. Those gym owners, they're in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the tough spot. Do they support her in her goals? Because who are we to say whose goals are right or wrong? That's it. This is what she wants to do. This is what makes her excited. What sets her heart on fire. It's a passion of hers. She feels so good about the endurance life that she's living. Awesome. That's amazing. And I love it. What a cool, there's a whole lot more destructive ways that you could fulfill those needs. On the flip side of that, the coaches are probably operating with a moral compass of we understand when exercise is no longer beneficial to health. And endurance racing, it is no longer beneficial to health. It's not. So them basically putting their foot down and being like, hey, we are not going to support this is their choice. And it's not right or wrong. It's just their choice. Let's take this in a parallel universe or a parallel endeavor, which is there is an organization that supports young entrepreneurs. And this one entrepreneur is so excited about creating this business that they work 100-hour work weeks. And they work 100-hour work weeks over and over and over again. And at some point, the creators of the think tank go, listen, this isn't sustainable. This isn't the way to long-term success of the business. So we're going to lock the doors so you can't come in here for 20 hours a week. You got to get at least 6 hours of sleep a night because we care about you and that type of stuff. And thus you see the predicament. Because this guy's, this is the thing. This is the thing that like lights me up. This is the thing that makes me feel calm. This is the biggest passion I've ever had. I love this. And you're not letting me do this thing I love. And therein lies the predicament. It's who's right. The way I would do this is I would support her, but not unconditionally. I would support her and encourage her to run the 50K. I would help her achieve whatever goals she set for her, but I would also let her know about my belief system for longevity and health and let her know that that's what we're trying to create at our gym. Now, can she still be a part of our gym while pursuing that? In my view and the way we run our gym, absolutely. This is not at odds with what we're trying to do. It's just not perfect alignment. We don't need perfect alignment for a person to be a member of our gym. That would be kind of crazy to say we're only taking this type of person that fits into this tiny little box. So if she's looking for help, I don't think that I'm going to be able to give her the help that's going to help her with her gym because her gym's not wrong. They have a belief system about the way to create health, and they're not wavering from that. Kudos to them. That's awesome. And if they fire her as a client, kind of even more amazing. This isn't way you're being hurtful to your health, and so it's okay. Then wow, they're really sticking to their laurels. But just to say again, what she's doing isn't wrong at all. It's not. Like because you want to build a business and you're willing to work 100 hours a week for 6 months to a year to get this thing to be what it could be is not in line with our way of doing things, the way we think of things. But we're also not here to say that that's wrong. It's not an absolute. There might be a time and a place for that.
Yeah, I think it's a sign of being a grown-up to be able to hold two opposing truths in your head at the same time. And not to say that her question implies that either of them don't understand where the other party is coming from, but ultimately at the end of the day, you've just got to be okay that she's right and they're right.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Yeah, I like that. You can hold two truths in your head at the same time. That's I think it's the first time anyone's ever called me a grown-up, but
well, you're welcome. That's a good place to wrap up then. End on a win. Thank you, Ben. Thank you to Claire, Beth, and Emil for your questions. If you would like to get a question into a future episode, we surely would love it. Head to www.chasingexcellence.email. The link is also in the show notes. Every week we send out an email with a link to a form, and you can ask your questions, and we will get them into a future episode. We appreciate all of the questions that we get, and we're excited to continue to answer them. Ben, you and I will be back in a couple days, or maybe even next week.
Whatever next is. We'll be back
next time.